what can franchisors do to help facilitate a successful outcome for their franchisees in regard to financing? And Kevin, do you want to take that first? What are some of the things that you do at Dunkin' that help you make sure your franchisees are going to get financed?
Sure, thanks. So what we do at Dunkin' is we really try to think like we're a bank. So when we have a new franchisee or a transfer going through, we pull down tri-merge credit reports, we review business plans, we do asset verifications, we do background checks, and we really try to underwrite them like a lender would. So it includes resumes and stuff like that. And we're continually monitoring that process with underwriters who we have a relationship with to ensure our standards are in line with theirs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's really three key approval parts to being approved for a loan. First part's the franchisor's health. The second part's the site. And we kind of control those two. So our underwriting part's to kind of make sure we control that third part. So when that operator goes out the door, we feel strongly they're going to get some financing.
Scott from Sports Clubs, how about you? What are you doing to ensure your franchisees are going to get financing, or how are you helping them?
We have a very similar program to what Kevin mentioned. We do a lot of due diligence on our potential franchisees up front with the intent to make sure that they can get financing. I certainly can't ensure that in all cases, but the whole point is you're looking at their capability from a capital perspective, character, all those things that lenders look for in somebody they want to lend money to. We're looking for on the front end. Through the downturn in the economy, we haven't changed those minimum requirements, and I think that served our system well over the years, in that when we approve someone to come into the Sport Club system, we're pretty well assured that they're going to be able to get financed.
Scott from KFC, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I think one thing that's really important is that lenders, frequently it all comes down to your business proposition. So every franchisor's got to make sure that you really look yourself in the mirror and say, do I have a business proposition that a lender is going to want to lend behind? And then, we try to talk to lenders that express an interest in being in our system. And so we have a list of interested lenders so that we can send them out to franchisees, at least people, we're not just sending them out there cold calling in that case. And then I think we have to understand, by talking to lenders, what do you need? For instance, we were never on the SBA registry because, to be quite frank, we just didn't need to be on the SBA registry. But when the SBA started tightening up and when more and more people were going for SBA loans and that was starting to keep people from getting financing, we said, we're now going to get on the SBA registry, and we did that. We also had a bank credit report created by FRANdata because if you're working with community banks and they don't understand franchising, if a third party can give them some knowledge, and that can help them lend to our people, then it was worth the price of having a bank credit report put together. So, we did that. And then lastly, I think a lot of people have talked about they want to understand what support the franchisee is going to have, and we feel we have a very broad-based support program, and we want to make sure that our lenders understand that. So if that is of benefit to our franchisees, that they in fact can get that benefit when they go out looking for funds.
What are you seeing the franchisors doing out there to help facilitate financing?
Sure. I think one of the things that a franchisor needs to remember is a franchisee doesn't naturally know what to present to a bank, and it's a non-trivial task to go applying for a loan. And whenever a franchisor can empower a franchisee with, here is the right way to create a financing package, and whenever they can do so efficiently so they're not having to do that multiple times. One of the things that concerns me is if a franchisee, even if a franchisor gives them a preferred lenders list, you want to make sure your franchisee is not applying with 10 banks. Obviously, that's inefficient for the bankers and inefficient for your franchisee, and it may be detrimental to their personal credit as well. So, we think it's important to educate a franchisee how to create a right package, a smart package that's bank ready. I think one of the things we will hear from any of the bankers on the line is when they see a franchisee, they want to know they're ready for financing, and they want to have a ready package. They want to see the last 3 years of tax returns on the personal side, if it's a transfer or business tax returns. And there is a process to be putting together a bank-ready package. And that's one of the things that whenever a franchisor can empower their franchisee to do that in a smart way, that's we're seeing that as a strong benefit.
Kevin, what are you doing with Dunkin'?
So last year we took kind of a roll up your sleeves approach, and we actually hit the road. We did 5 local and regional lending bank shows to talk to the community and regional banks about our system. And that's been a big win for us. We've seen a lot of loans come from that. So we're excited about that. I think this year, we're looking to form some relationships with companies like BoeFly, which can help facilitate those meetings a little bit easier as they have those relationships already with the local banks. And that's in addition to our annual lender meeting, which is important. We invite all lenders up here to talk about the brand and really grow the long-term relationships that we have so they can understand our brand better and feel much more confident that the operators that come to them for a loan will successfully pay the lender back in a quick period and form a long-term relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. And those road shows, you're doing those road shows in areas that are new areas for Dunkin'?
That's a little bit, right? We're going to areas where we have the most potential growth. So, we did areas like Atlanta. We even went to Chicago where there's a lot of opportunity. But really where we're growing is contiguously. So, it's going to be in those mid-Atlantic markets mostly, and then as we start continue to grow, farther and farther west, we'll layer those road shows in to get the lenders really aware of the brand and what we can do.
Scott from Sports Clips, what are you doing to facilitate that? What initiative are you undertaking?
So in addition to a lot of things that we've talked about, investing in those relationships, making sure we're on the SBA registry, bank credit reports, we're taking on some additional initiatives in that we're doing a much better job these days tracking where deals are coming from and where deals are getting done, and using that knowledge to help mine and find lenders that are out there that know Sport Clips, have some experience with Sport Clips, and in most cases are inclined to do additional deals. And then we, of course, make sure that we start that relationship with them as well. But I think platforms like, Kevin mentioned it, platforms like BoeFly are an interesting alternative to doing either, road shows around the country or other things that help get our concept and our folks in front of as many lenders as possible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how about you, Scott, of KFC?
When we talk big deals, if we talk refranchising deals, we stay very close to the banks, and they're usually the major lenders that are financing those deals. And many times people that are looking to do the next deal, they may talk to 2 or 3 people initially, but we know that they've shown that they're willing to do that because that's existing cash flow. And so we stay close to them. It's almost on a small group, but we talk to them frequently. Where I spend a lot of my time focusing is on the new guys, the guys that haven't been around long enough or don't have enough of a history for some of the big guys to really get interested. And that's where I mentioned we got on the SBA registry. We had a bank credit report prepared. We also are exploring BoeFly just because I think the concept makes a lot of sense. Now, we're working through the details, and sometimes getting all parties together is never an easy thing to do. But we're, in fact, looking at it because, I don't want someone that's small. I mean, my dad, who was an owner-operator his whole life, used to say, when you need the money, nobody wants to lend to you, and when you don't need the money, everybody wants to lend to you.